everyone. So I wanted to go ahead and make a video on a lot of the Strand advanced movement techniques that have been found, because I find this sort of thing to be incredibly fun, and I know a lot of you guys do too. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. A large percentage of you guys are not, and we're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate it, and you get to see more videos like this. So there are three main techniques we're going to be going over today. Infinite grappling, which seems to only be able to be done on Hunter for right now. Strand skating, which is most efficient on Hunter, but you can also do it on Warlock. And then rocket grappling, which I believe can be done on any of the characters. So the first one we're going to be taking a look at is infinite grappling. And like I said, I'm pretty sure this can only be done on Hunter because of its aspect Widow Silk, where anytime you create a grapple, you make like a permanent grapple anchor or grapple tangle, as it's called. And so what that means is if I make one here, I can use my second charge as much as I want. Now, there's an additional thing that we can pair with this, which is grenade kickstart. Now, you really only need one of these, but the more you have, the more efficient this is going to be. And so this makes it when you fully use your grenade charge, you get grenade energy back, and the more the more of these mods you have, the fewer times you have to use a grenade to get yours back. And so what that looks like is if I use my grenade energy here, you can see I have 0 or 1.5 charges, and then I can just keep grappling here, and I now have 2. And so you can just keep using this over and over again like that, and you can pair it with something like an eager-edged sword to do some fun stuff. So there are two main ways of infinite grapple flying. One is a little bit harder, but is faster. So, you know, take that as it is. So here's the easier one. You just make a grapple here, and you just use it to give your grapple back, and then you'll grapple to it. You'll swing. You'll go as far as you can. You can pair it with eager edge. You'll make another one, and here's kind of where it becomes a little difficult. You have to wait for your grenade charge to come back because there is a cooldown on these. So you just do that. Then you can continue on your little journey here. You make another one. At the end, you have to wait for your grenade to come back so you can tangle again. There you go. And so you can see this one's a little easier, but it does take a little bit longer. You lose a lot of momentum, and it can be kind of easy to screw up and fall into the abyss, but it's definitely the easier of the two. Now, the second technique takes a little bit more finesse, and the main difference is after you grapple, you're just gonna jump. You're gonna kind of like spam jump. So like if I make a tangle here, I'm gonna grapple, jump, grapple, jump. And there's a little bit of finesse to it. And what that does is if you get the timing down correctly, it cancels that cooldown. So this is gonna start off exactly the same, where you create a tangle point and you'll, use it to get your second grapple back. The difference is here, and you can practice this here. After you tangle, you're immediately going to want to jump, and you're going to notice that kind of upwards mobility. This guy is going to screw me up. Hey, man, I'm trying to do a tutorial here. All right, sorry about that. So the difference, like I said, is this time you're going to kind of do the jumping motion. So I'll have my second grapple back here, and then you're just gonna grapple, jump, and that'll get rid of and cancel that kind of grenade cooldown nonsense that the slower version has. And you'll just do it until you get your grenade back. And as you can see, just completely getting rid of that cooldown, and it's much faster, and I think kind of smoother. You can go further a lot easier like that. You can keep kind of your height as well a lot easier. You don't have to worry about screwing up quite as much. So that is my preferred method, but you do have to get the timing of those jumps down, which can take a little bit of practice. But that is how you infinitely grapple fly. And if you're going into the new raid, or any raids at all, it could be very useful to know. All right, so with Strand skating, it's a little different. It is going to use the Hunter's aspect where you do the dive and snaring slam. The thing is this has a weird kind of momentum. It doesn't go straight down. It kind of like does an angle, weird jump thing. And so unfortunately, you cannot do it from flat ground. You have to be on a slope, and it has to be a pretty significant slope too. So it is a little bit more limiting than traditional well or shatter skating. So if I'm on this slope here, you don't want to hit your WASD keys at all. And you of course want eager edge. I don't know why I was showing my cloak. You want eager edge. But what you're going to do is kind of the same key movements where it's swap to your sword, heavy attack, but usually you would go jump and alternate movement, kind of in a rolling motion. So it's like attack, jump, alternate movement. For this, you kind of reverse the last two. So you switch your sword, and then you'll heavy attack, and then your alternate movement, which is your ensnaring slam, and then jump, but all kind of really quick in succession. Pretty much just the exact opposite on those last two keys as shatter or well skating. So let's see if I can get it. There you go. And you can see, you know, if you take off your sword, you keep that momentum. Pretty cool, pretty awesome. So here we are on kind of flat ground, a ledge as you would normally do, and I'm just going to do the same keys. And you can see because there's no slope, your slam takes precedent. But something like this is going to be entirely two slopes. You can see because it doesn't stop that kind of weird movement. So you have to find a nice slope, like this should work. That works. Most stairs you would find in the game, I would imagine, would probably work just fine. You just have to kind of learn the correct decline in order to do this as consistently as possible, because unfortunately you can't do it on flat ground. So here we are on Warlock, and it's going to be the exact same keys as well skating. So you're going to switch heavy attack with eager, jump, and then super button. And once again, just that kind of rolling motion. My original video goes more into this, but your very standard rolling motion there. The problem is so it does skate, you gain a lot of momentum, you go pretty far, but it uses your super, which is like, if you're in a jump puzzle and you're looking to skate, I would probably just switch to well, to be completely honest, but you know. So the next technique is going to be grappling to rockets or rocket flying. So you can do this with any rocket with a low velocity. So like Roar of the Bear, for instance. I think Hothead, at least my Hothead, the velocity is going to be too high. I recommend just pulling a Sins of the Past from your collections because it has one of the lowest velocities in the entire game with confined launch. And essentially, you're going to shoot a rocket and you're going to grapple onto it, but you want your rocket to be slow so you have time to grapple onto it. And this is going to be instant. You're going to fire and immediately grapple almost simultaneously. And it should look like something like this. And it's easier to do if you look straight up because you don't have to account for recoil. So here I can just ride my rocket all the way to the skybox of Nessus. Just go, go, go. As you can see, I am way up high. Very cool technique, and definitely something that will kind of change the game, I think. Now you can fly horizontally as well, but it is much harder because you have to account for recoil. So I'm going to attempt to show you guys this, but I probably won't even hit it. But let's check. Yeah, see, so I missed. So give me a second to wait for my stuff to come back, and I'll try to hit this and show you how powerful this is as well. All right, I tried for a pretty long time to hit a horizontal rocket fly, and I just don't think it's gonna happen for this video. It's quite difficult to hit because you do have to correct for your flinch or for your recoil. So the vertical ones are very easy to hit. You can use that in tons of things to cross jump puzzles, just to get heights, just to, you know, show off to your friends, whatever the hell you want to do. Much more consistent and easy to hit because you don't have to deal with recoil. So I'm just gonna say just learn that one because I think that's the one you're gonna be most likely to be able to reproduce whenever you need it. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating and to share it with your friends. Please consider helping us get to 100,000 subscribers. Love your faces. Have a fantastic day.